Happy hump day. This is your pal Munch with your hump day leadership tip. Remember, on Wednesdays, we tackle a hump or obstacle that stands in the way of your effectiveness as a leader. Today, let's tackle the hump of conflict. Leaders, I know that most of us, me included, cannot stand conflict. It is not something we want to create. It is not something we want to face. And once we find ourselves in the midst of it, we look for an exit. I totally get it. I like to hunker down under big pieces of furniture to avoid any sort of even semblance of perceived conflict. But as leaders, recognizing conflict, addressing conflict, and resolving conflict head on are parts of the hallmark of effective leadership. It's just something you have to get comfortable with, if not skilled at. Because let's face it, we're dealing with humans, and humans are the biggest wild card in your business, which means that sometimes feelings are hurt, sometimes perspectives differ, and sometimes those differences of opinion and experience and frame of reference cause friction. Here's one of the things, though, that you've got to keep in mind when it comes to conflict. You can do everything right, and you can face a difficult conversation head on, and you can show up the way that you intended to show up, and that conversation may still go awry. It may still not resolve itself within the first interaction. And one of the main reasons for that is you can only control your side of the exchange. How you show up, how you acknowledge the other person's feelings, how you do your best to stay in a rational frame of mind. And if the other person doesn't do the same, that can often throw you off course. But here's the thing. Get through a conversation like that as best you can. And then once you are able to detach from the conversation after the fact, take a look at and reflect on how you showed up to the interaction. This is not about what the other person said or did or how they might have hurt your feelings. It is all about, did you show up the way that you intended? Are you feeling good about how you presented yourself, how you showed up as a leader? And if the answers to those are that you feel good, that you feel like you showed up the way that you wanted to, then you need to let the rest of it go. And not necessarily go in for round two, but wait until yourself and your mood is more centered and more calm, and then you can look at the situation again objectively. And if it's warranted, have a second conversation. And if it's not, find a way to separate yourself from that environment. Conflict is something that will happen in business as in life, because this is a relationship business. But it does not mean that every conflict resolves itself with one conversation. It's part of the reason that we dread it. Focus on how you show up to difficult conversations and focus on staying within the type of leader and the type of person you want to continue to be, and let that shine forth through every interaction. Over the hump we go. See you tomorrow.